Andy, you know what we gonna do on this show next week?
Yeah, we're going to do the life story of them two guys that created us, Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll.
Yes, 10,000 independent Rexall druggists at the stores with the orange and blue sign bring you transcribed The Amos and Andy Show, written by Joe Connolly and Bob Mosier, featuring Ernestine Wade, Johnny Lee, Amanda Randolph, Tommy Moore, Lillian Randolph, Roy Glenn, Jeff Alexander's music, yours truly, Harlow Wilcox, and starring radio's all-time favorites, Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll. Amos and Andy!
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Freeman Gosden. I am proud to bring you some news that's going to mean a real savings for your family. My partner, Charles Correll, and I recently asked the Rexall druggist if they would have an Amos and Andy sale, a really big sale with big bargains. Our sponsors agreed, and I'm happy to tell you that sale begins a week from tomorrow. This 2-week event is the first Amos and Andy sale in all of our years in radio. It is the first time in Rexall history that so many guaranteed Rexall products have been marked down to half price. Yes, 50% off. Many Rexall products that have never before been on sale. And you can find all these specials in the Rexall ad in the current issue of Life, Look, Collier's, Saturday Evening Post, and Farm Journal. I just hope that you will look the ad over carefully so that you won't miss a single wonderful bargain. The Amos and Andy sale goes on February the 15th through the 28th at Rexall drugstores everywhere.
Well, a very strange thing has happened. Every week for the past 3 weeks, George Kingfish Stevens has brought home a pay envelope with $75 in it. This has never happened before, and naturally his wife Sapphire and her mother are overjoyed as once again the Kingfish has come home and handed them another $75.
Well, there you is, gal, 75 smackers.
Oh, this money is wonderful, ain't it, Mama?
Oh, yeah.
Now, we'll go right down to the market now and order a nice big steak for the dear boy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All we've been getting around here for the past 6 months is hash, stew, soup, and mush. We've been doing some of the loosest eating around here I done ever seen. It'll be a pleasure to put something in my mouth that will give my molars argument.
Oh, George, me and Mama is so proud of this wonderful job of yours.
But by the way, son-in-law, you ain't told us who's been paying you this money every week.
Yes, George. Why won't you tell us where you working?
Sapphire, I done told you it's against the rules of the boss to tell you where I was working.
Well, if you ask me, can't be much of a job if you're ashamed of it.
Yes, George. It don't seem like no legitimate business would have rules like that.
Well, now, wait a minute here.
Huh? If they want to keep the operations undercover, they must be underhand and illegal.
Mama's right. George Stevens, you quit that no-good job tomorrow, you crook.
Yeah. Oh, you disgraces the family and winds up in the penitentiary.
Yes, we don't want no jailbirds around here.
Now, wait a minute, you two. For 25 years, when I didn't bring home no money, you hollers at me. Now, when I does start bringing home a salary, you still hollers at me. This is like trying to offer the dove of peace to the Russians. You know that sooner or later, you is the one that's going to get the bird. Now, that's... Brother Andy, you sure that you locked the office door there when you come in the lodge hall?
Yeah, I done locked it. Listen, Kingfish, why don't you tell Sapphire and her mama that you was working for the local newspaper?
Well, Andy, the man over at the newspaper told me not to tell. I'd lose my job if it got known all over town that I was writing advice to the Lovelorn column and writing that column under the name of Rosemary Darling. Yeah, that's why we're working at the lodge hall here, to keep it a secret.
Yeah, well, this is something. You being another Dorothy Dixie cup. Hey, that's quite a batch of letters you're going to answer there tonight, ain't it, Rosemary, honey?
Oh, cut it out, Andy. Ain't you got no respect for womanhood? Stop.
You know, Kingfish, I ought to stick around here and help you with this advice of the Lovelorn. When it comes to gals, I has left quite a trail of broken hearts. You know, Senorita Butterfly, Madam Queen, Miss Blue, Abigail Simpson.
Yes, Andy, it might be a good idea if you stuck around. I guess you was two-timed and double-crossed women's under 4 different presidents, ain't you?
Yeah, I is. But looking back, I think I had my big year under Coolidge.
Yeah. Listen to this letter I got here now, Andy. Now, here's what somebody written me.
Yeah.
Says, Dear Miss Darling, I would like to get a steady boyfriend. My mama thinks I is very attractive. However, the last time I went to a party, I was sitting in the corner by myself when the hostess come over and put a screen around me. What do you think? I'm enclosing a full-length snapshot of myself, signed Confused.
Yeah, well, let me see the picture.
Yeah, there's the picture right there. What do you think, Andy?
Say, that sure is a funny pose for a picture. What's she doing standing in them 2 suitcases there?
Them is her feet, Sandy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at first there, I thought they were suitcases. I tell you, Kingfish, if she ever goes in a hotel lobby, she better keep moving. A bellboy liable to slap some labels on them things.
Tell me this, Andy, what do you think of a figure?
Well, let me see. Say, I had seen a figure like this on a calendar.
A calendar?
Yeah. You know that calendar the Anheuser-Busch people used to put out? She looks like the second brewery horse from the left.
Yeah, look at that bustle on her there.
Yeah.
She look like she's dragging the wagon, doesn't she, there?
Well, Kingfish, I don't see how you're going to have the heart to answer this letter.
Well, you was right, Andy. I'll just write the gal and tell her I never got a letter.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see the next one there, Kingfish. What is it?
Here's the next letter here. Say here, Dear Rosemary, for 10 years I went with a man.
But that's...
I done bought gifts for him, fed him, and loaned him money. All the while he was going with me, he was two-timing me with other gals. 6 years ago, he throwed me over. I has made several attempts to get back with him since, and now that I is getting old, he won't have nothing to do with me. What must I do? Signed, broken-hearted Juliet.
That fella sounds like a real bum, don't he?
Yeah, and then that poor, broken-hearted Juliet. I feel sorry.
Yeah, imagine that fella leaving her just 'cause she's getting old. That's the time to stick with them old gals so you can wait for their Social Security.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. We'll fix that boy's wagon, Andy. Now, listen to this answer I'm going to give her.
Yeah.
Dear broken-hearted Juliet, your pitiful letter has touched my heart. You was giving this two-bit Casanova the best years of your life. The thing for you to do is to take legal action. Go to an attorney. I believe it is possible under the law to sue this man for damages. Good luck, signed Rosemary Darling.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Imagine a fella taking gifts from a gal. That boy ain't nothing but a smooch-smoocher.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, madam, this Rosemary Darling gave you excellent advice in her column. And as an attorney, it's my opinion that we can sue this man. I'd say $10,000 would be a reasonable figure. By the way, you were smart to use the name Broken-Hearted Juliet.
Yeah, but when we get to court, I'm going to sue that Andy Brown under my real name, Madam Queen.
Good evening. This is your Rexall family druggist. You'll find our big Amos and Andy sale ad in the Current Life, Look, Collier's, Saturday Evening Post, and Farm Journal. Here are 3 things to look for. First, the half-price items. More than 2 dozen guaranteed Rexall products at just half price. Second, the free tumblers. You get one with every purchase of more than a dozen items. And third, almost 100 other unprecedented specials. Find them all in Life, Look, Collier's, Saturday Evening Post, and Farm Journal. And save at our Amos and Andy sale, February 15th through 28th.
Oh, come in, Brother Andy. Hey, by the way, did you read my Rosemary Darling column in the paper today?
No, I ain't seen it yet.
Yeah, what's the matter, Andy?
Oh, nothing, Kingfish. It's just that something kind of funny happened this morning.
You look kind of strange. What you mean? What happened?
Well, I tell you, when I was leaving my rooming house, there was a fella walking up and down out in front. Every once in a while, he'd pull out a pair of binoculars and look up at my window. Now, I didn't like the looks of him, so I went out the back way.
Yeah, what's the matter, Andy? Did the fella have on a policeman's uniform or something?
No, but he had feets on him like a lawyer. I took one look at him, and I say to myself, there is a pair of ipso facto feet if ever I seen any.
Yeah, well, Andy, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't done nothing lately.
Well, boy, you know, I was 47 years old, and it's my past that I was worried about. I was like an old hound dog laying in front of fire. I'd sure hate to have any of the muskrats I used to chase come sneaking up on me when I was too old to run.
Wait a minute now, Andy, you ain't got nothing to...
Uh-oh.
Andy, there's somebody at the door.
Yeah, and that was a real courthouse knock, too.
Yeah, you was right, Andy. That kind of knock usually comes just before the judge says, take this prisoner away.
No, man.
Listen, Andy,
What?
you better get under the desk there. Yeah, get under there, and I'll take care of it.
Yeah, okay, I'll get under here right now.
Come in. Yes, sir. Can I help you?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Andrew Brown.
Is that by any chance Andrew H. Brown?
That's right.
Never heard of him.
Then why did you ask me if his middle initial was H?
Well, I wanted to be sure that he was the same man I never heard of, that's all.
Now, look, I know he's around someplace. Now, here's my card. He'll save himself a lot of trouble if he comes down to my office and accepts his summons.
Well, like I say, I never heard of the man you're looking for, but it sounds like you was after this total stranger for something serious. Is that right? Or what was it?
I'm after him because my client, Madam Queen, is suing him for $10,000.
No.
What was that noise? Sounded like it came from under the desk.
Oh, no. That was just my stomach rumbling there. Tell me this, what would this Madam Queen be coming after this total stranger for after all these years?
Well, she wrote a letter to the newspaper, and she's suing him on the advice of Rosemary Darling.
No.
There's that noise again.
Yeah, I got the rumble in the stomach. You don't ever hear that. Hey, you see, I ain't ate since yesterday, and there's a pretty nasty echo in there. Yeah. Well, now, if I sees this stranger, I'll tell him that you're looking for him.
Look, I know who you are.
You do?
You are George Stevens, a friend of Brown's. Well, you tell him this. We're going to serve him with this summons no matter how we have to do it. Good day.
Okay, Andy. Come on out from under the desk.
Let me straighten up here.
Andy, what in the world was that groaning under there? You almost give it away.
Well, the first one was when he mentioned Madam Queen. I swallowed my cigar.
Yeah, tell me, what was the second one?
Well, I don't know what happened, but when he said Rosemary Darling, all of a sudden I was smoking it again. Listen, Kingfish, tell me something. What is I going to do?
Well, Andy, listen. The only thing to do is to duck the process server till we can figure some way out of this mess. Just keep ducking him. Now, you stay here in the lodge hall, and I'll bring your meals to you. Now, don't speak or talk to nobody.
Yeah, this is a mess. And you was the one that give the advice for Madam Queen to get a lawyer and come after me.
Wait a minute, now, don't forget, son, you was right in the room with me when I said that.
Yeah, that's the worst part of it. That's just like guiding the doctor's hand when he's writing out your death certificate.
Yeah, well,
Oh, me, I hope that Kingfish gets here soon with my supper. I'm getting awful hungry. If I don't get something to eat here...
Pardon me, please, but I'm lost. I wonder if I could use your telephone.
Look, you got your nerve walking in here like this. Besides, this is a private phone, and I don't want... Hello?
I'll only be a minute. I just want to call a theater and tell them I'll be a little late.
Theater, huh? Oh. Is you a usher over there or something?
Oh, no. I do a dance with them great big Bird of Paradise fans. Have you seen my ad?
No, but something tells me I'm about to take up bird watching.
Oh, you're so cute.
Yeah, I know. Tell me something. Do you live around here?
Uh-huh, right over on 135th Street.
Well, you live there long?
For 4 years.
I guess I ain't been covering this territory like I think I was. Honey, won't you sit down while you're phoning?
Oh, sit down, but there's only one chair, and you're sitting in it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I ought to sit on a strange man's lap.
Well, there ain't no sense of us being strangers, is there?
Well, I hardly know you. What'll I call you?
Well, how about Ducky Wucky?
Well, that's cute, all right, but what's your real name?
Andrew H. Brown. Do you like it?
I love it.
You do?
Yes, I do, Mr. Brown. And here's your summons.
Oh, Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Charles Correll.
And I am Freeman Gosden. We're taking this time to tell you more about the items on sale at 50% discount during the Amos and Andy sale, which starts February the 15th. Every last one of these items bears the famous Rexall money-back guarantee, and they're all regular bestsellers. Many of these items have never been on sale before.
Items like vitamins and medicine chest needs, and many other famous Rexall remedies.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll find them all in the Rexall ad in the current national magazines.
And the ad is in Life, Look, Collier's, Saturday Evening Post, and Farm Journal. It'll help you make the most of this wonderful chance to save at the Amos and Andy sale.
Remember, the sale begins a week from tomorrow and continues through February the 28th at your own Rexall drugstore.
Be sure to listen next week for an unusual show, the life story of Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll.
Listen, Andy, you big dummy. Why in the world did you let the gal in the office?
Well, why in the world did you give Madam Queen that advice to sue me in the first place?
Well, now, look, Andy, I told you before there ain't no sense in hollering and shaking your fist at me.
Well,
I'm going to stick with you in this thing. Now, I done got a hold of Amos and turned my advice to the Lovelorn column over to him and told him to answer the letters the best he could until I got you out of this mess.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. At least Amos won't give no crazy answers like you did.
Well, that's right, Andy. Now, I got Calhoun working on that mess, too. I told him to come over here, and when,
Hiya, boys.
Hiya, Calhoun. Glad you got here. Is you been working on that Madam Queen thing for Andy?
Yeah, I is, boys. But I had to put aside one of the biggest cases I done ever had.
You did, huh? What case was that?
Well, about 6 months ago, the railroad notified one of my clients who live out in the country that they was going to run some track right across his property under the law of eminent domain.
No fooling, they did, huh?
Yeah, but I advised my client to ignore the railroad because they couldn't do it. So today I brought a doctor into the case.
A doctor? What for?
This morning a freight train hit my client while he was on his way to the bathroom.
Well, now look. Did you come up on any angle for Andy to get out of this Madam Queen suit?
Now listen, boys. I done come up with the greatest angle you done ever heard.
Yeah, what is that, Calhoun?
I've been studying all the information you give me about all the money and the gifts and stuff you received from Madam Queen.
Yeah.
And I figured that the last gift you received from her was exactly 7 years ago today.
Yeah, well, what about it?
Well, don't you see, boys? The statute of limitation runs out at midnight tonight. If she don't get the case on the court calendar by then, she can't sue you.
Yeah, but it's 5 o'clock now. Ain't a lawyer gonna do something about that?
Well, yeah, I did hear something about him and Madam Queen going down to special session tonight and swearing out a warrant against you, but they have to get it in before midnight.
Holy smokes, Andy. If you can just stall the old gal off until midnight tonight, you is in the clear.
Yeah, but how is I gonna stall her off? That woman means business, boy.
Listen, Andy, you gotta have to go up to her place tonight and smooch talk that woman like you never smooch talked to her before. I tell you what, Andy, I'll go with you.
Yeah, that's your only chance. If you can keep up and filing them papers by midnight, she's a dead duck.
Oh, thanks a lot, Calhoun. You know, ain't this awful? Andy getting in trouble with women all the time.
Yeah, but you know one thing, boy? This kind of stuff been going on for years. You know what the French say about smooching. Sachez la femme, l'amour, toujours l'amour.
What do that mean, Calhoun?
Don't let them take it away.
Well, now, here's Madam Queen's hotel room, Andy. Now, it's 11:30. All you gotta do is love talk this old gal for 31 minutes, and you is a free man.
Yeah, well, it ain't gonna be easy. She want to throw me in jail, and I can't stand that old gal.
Now, listen, I know it's gonna be tough on you, but I got a stopwatch here. Now, at the stroke of 12, I'll give you the signal, and you can dump the old gal right on the floor.
Yeah, well, okay. Ring the bell, Kingfish. I ain't seen her for over 3 years. I wonder if she's got any older.
Well, you know the old saying, Andy, time and tide waits for no one.
Yes, what is it?
Holy mackerel. I don't know about the time, but the tide sure put some barnacles on that old scow.
Wait a minute, who's out here? Let me put my bifocals on here. Why, it's you, Andy Brown. What does you want coming around here, you stupid fat-headed chiseler?
Yeah.
Now, look here, Madam Queen. The boy wants to talk to you.
Well, look who's here. Old skinhead Steve.
Look, Madam Queen, I want to talk to you about something very important.
I was due down in court to swear out a warrant for this chiseler, but I'll give you 5 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Queen. Come on in here.
Andy Brown, before you say anything to me, I just want to tell you something. I'm going to take you into court and sue you for everything you got, and then I'm going to throw you in jail. I was out to get revenge because I hate you like I never hated nobody. Now, what has you got to say to me?
Kingfish, what time is it?
11:32. Start pitching woo.
Madam Queen, you is the sweetest, the most charming honey baby doll in the whole world.
Don't you try to soft soap me, you two-timing woman chaser, you.
You is the most gentle, the sweetest, the kindest, and the funniest. And besides being wonderful, you are the darlingest honey baby cupcake that ever lived.
I don't believe one word you saying, you lying double-crosser, you.
Oh, me. Kingfish, what time is it?
11:45. Keep up the jive.
Madam Queen, you is the sweetest itty-bitty gumdrop sugar candy honey baby dumpling doll that ever come into my life. You is... Not only that, but you is the sweetest patootie pigeon pie of a lovey-dovey apple dumpling that ever lived.
Oh, Andy, don't get off my lap. Tell me more.
No, me. What is it now, Kingfish?
11:59. You're doing fine.
Madam Queen, you is the cutest little turkey-worky, ducky-wucky, pidgey, lovey-dovey, honey bunchy, baby.
Time.
Okay, Fatso, that's all for tonight.
What did you say?
12:01. Let's start the run. Come on, Andy. Here's your hat. Let's go.
Andy Brown, you come back here. You done double-crossed me again.
Out the door, Andy. Out the door. Come on here.
Oh, mackerel, Kingfish. I never thought we'd make it.
Andy, I is proud of you. You was the only man in history that ever smooched his way in and out of jail in the same evening. I ain't ever...
Well, Andy, you sure did get out of that Madam Queen mess at the last minute.
Yeah, Amos, that was the closest shave I done ever had.
Oh, the boy was great, Amos. And I want to thank you, Amos, too, for taking over my advice to the Lovelorn column.
Yeah, Amos. Say, by the way, how'd you make out as Rosemary Darling?
Well, I only had 3 letters. One signed lonesome, the other one signed puzzled, and one signed very anxious. Well, I tried to answer them letters as honestly as possible, and I weighed each case, and I tried to give the right answer. You know, the people that reads that stuff really takes them serious, you know it, them answers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a great racket, you know. I really, it kind of gives you a feeling of power to be controlling the destinies of others.
Yeah, but you got to be more careful, Kingfish. You got us in an awful mess once.
Oh,
you know.
don't worry about me, boys. I know what I'm doing. Well, here's my apartment. You want to come up and have a little supper? You know, I is the breadwinner of the family now.
No thanks, Kingfish. I got to get on home. So long.
Yeah, and I got to go down to the drugstore and get some bicarbonate of soda. My stomach is still a little upset from love talking to that Madam Queen. So long, Kingfish.
So long, boys. So long. Oh, just being Rosemary Darling is a great racket for me. Well, good evening, Sapphire. Hello, Mama.
Hello, George.
Hello, son-in-law.
Hey, wait a minute. What is my suitcases doing here in the living room?
Well, you know how we asked you where you was working and you wouldn't tell us? Well, Mama and me felt if a husband had to keep secrets from his wife, there was something wrong with our marriage.
Right. So, yesterday, we wrote a letter to Rosemary Darling, signed Very Anxious, and we told her what a sneak you was. And she advised us to throw you out in the street bag and bang.
Oh, no, now
Friends, this is Harlow Wilcox reminding you to read the Amos and Andy sale ad in the current Life, Look, Collier's, Saturday Evening Post, and Farm Journal. This big ad gives you pages of unbelievable bargains all around the Rexall drugstore, plus all the half-price specials, plus all the purchases that get you a free tumbler. You'll just have to read this big ad to believe the bargains. So be sure to find it in the current Life, Look, Collier's, Saturday Evening Post, and Farm Journal. Mark the wonderful savings in store for you at the Amos and Andy sale, February 15th through 28th at Rexall drugstores everywhere.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is really a fine sale, and we hope you will visit your Rexall family druggist. And when you do, tell him that Amos and Andy sent you. Thank you and good night.
See you next Sunday.
Remember to look for Rexall's Amos and Andy sale ad in the current Life, Look, Collier's, Saturday Evening Post, and Farm Journal. Plan your savings in advance for the Amos and Andy sale, February 15th through 28th at Rexall drugstores everywhere. Be sure to be with us at the same time next Sunday when your Rexall druggist will again present the Amos and Andy show, transcribed and directed by Cliff Howell. Stay tuned for the Bing Crosby program, which follows immediately over most of these same stations
of the CBS Radio Network.